Let's see here. Maybe. Oh, it's still not gonna work. All right. I'm just cleaning out a box of paperwork here. And I'll wait for more people. When I clean out my paperwork, I find all these gems, like all these little hidden treasures of things that I started and fell asleep with, whatnot, and so on. All these ideas that I just kind of set off to the side and forgot all about. That's part of my ADHD brain. I come up with it, and then boom, it gets forgotten about for a while, and I find it again 6 months later, and there it is. A little shiny gemstone. 6 months too late, though, is the way I see it. Like, gotta act on it. I wanted to talk today about motorcycles and why you should get your old lady one. So I'm going to put that in my pile to discuss. What is the unknown? Is it a person or unknown place or thing? The elusive unknown for me is a curvy line first with a dot. A period, maybe. The answer to the question simply forgotten or lost before being seen by another, or is it a book washed to the shores, sirens sounding for waterlogged pages of a book never read? Is it really a story? If never could it be anywhere except in another's head, it didn't make it ever out loud. Is the unknown a million sentences never spoken to hear? I'm not very certain. It's very unclear. I do remember remembering the names not given. I gave mine, then was distracted. All the moments lost while driving, not sure of the direction, not sure if I was found, unsure of where I was. I remember my state, not the town. Perhaps in a box of items collected by treasure hunters. Turned to them. At the center of forgotten goods that no way come back, or what each object is hard to ponder. They're counted goods that were forgotten that no one ever came back for. What each object is, it's hard to ponder. This and that makes me wonder. All the gadgets in the unknown must be a thing, but then again, a person can bring the mystery. This is them. They're over there. Meet my match. My name is what come here. Let, let me introduce the unknown is made of people too. Mainly ones who never are known. Maybe it's the confusing silence of being alone when you're not sure how to feel, or when you see something like your mother and you know it isn't real. It is the person, the place, a feel, or an emotion, the unread, the unspoken, the new, around the corner or on the other side of a hill. Maybe it's a letter with no return address, or a dress that's in your closet, but you don't recall it. And then your partner swears to you if you wore it last month. It shows a picture. It shows you love, and then perhaps in amazement, I meander looking for the whereabouts that I had found last November. I guess the unknown could be lack, of intellect of all things that you've yet to know yet. 1,000 stolen ideas, perhaps, or people whom had to go in a hurry, going from a mister to an unknown. People on the run, taking no credit for races won. Achievement, negate. You watch others play and then take records that you never ever get to claim. Like a recorded over VHS tape, you forgot to rewind halfway. Through the movie Memories of Mine, unknown could be yet to be heard, not able to speak your language, so you don't know understood the words. Even when repeated, unsure at any directions, for a task cannot be understood, unknown. So you ask unknown the reply. Perhaps it's brilliance just before you die, but never taught, never told, only things for sure. Everything can be unknown to another without the cherished knowledge that can pour out. Facts and figures told, written down, don't make any sense until you can hear your words out loud. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, so as I go through my box of papers here, which there's a lot of them because I'm a writer and an artist and a ADHD person. So I have like, I can't see it. Hold on. Piles and piles and piles and piles. Like, I don't know, areas full of crap. And we're sorting through them, which is difficult to do. Because when you unhash all this, you unhash all these. It is difficult, but like to me, it's like treasure hunting. Because like one day I had the treasure, boom, wrote it down. Even if it makes no sense, I can't read my own writing. This is what my papers look like. I mean, literally, can you read that? It's like that was after I rewrote it. No doubt, I could tell by the way I did it that I rewrote it. So that means like somewhere in a box of papers for the fire, there's like 100 more of these that aren't written as nice as this, and this is like still janky as shit. But I found my paper on motorcycles and why you should get your wife one, and that was a gem that I need to sell that point. You know, for one, like when you get your wife a motorcycle, or your old lady, or whatever you want to call her, it don't matter. Your partner in life that's feminine, and that don't always mean boy or girl. There's a lot of like pretty tough girls that like weld for a living and they work in scrap yards or something, and they might have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever. That's like a little bit more like easygoing, you know, whatever you want to call him. Maybe he's into like market research or something. Who knows? So when I say the feminine, when the feminine wants a motorcycle, this is the reasons why you should do it. Number one, whoever gave a woman the idea that they could use a credit card, nobody would have to pay it, and a minivan to do it in, or even more convenient, the SUVs with the spinny round seats and the hatchbacks and the bolt the sides of the doors come open, like if you just whistle at it and say, I got tied, you know, and it's like, open up. Like, whoever thought that was a good idea was fucking retarded. And of course, it's their job to like buy the supplies for the house. So now, okay, so you give them something that they could put in 800 cases of water or liquid soap or whatever other bullshit they got stored up in their just in case spot, you know, the backup of the backup, because there is a bottom below, you know. Some people keep beans and like cornbread type stuff. I don't know. Other people probably keep soap and toilet paper. And after the pandemic, that didn't help any, but it did help support the case of why you should get your own a motorcycle. Because on a motorcycle, depending on how many bungees you got, when you go to the store with your credit card or whatever card you got or whatever money you got, You're not going to be able to put in nearly the amount that you would on a minivan. Like I could put $200 worth of groceries on my bike easy, and it'll get us through maybe half the month or something. Like who knows, depending on how I was shopping. But you give them a minivan to do it on. Like imagine me with a minivan if I could put $200 worth of groceries on my bike with my fishnets and a bungee. You know how much money I could spend if I had a card that was like limitless or whatever. It would seem like it if it had thousands of dollars on it if you were broke, right? So like you had a card on it that you had a whole minivan or SUV to put that shit in. And then we had the big crisis, like the big housing crisis and debt, credit card debt. They're like, no, we're gonna redo it. You're gonna have to take a class on how to spend money now. And all this shit was bullshit anyway, because like I never bought into it. Once I found out that if you went to college, like 75% of the Ivy League students, the year I was supposed to go to college, they put out a thing in one of the magazines that said that they would donate an organ to get out of student aid debt. Like, what? The mob's got better rates than that, man. I could owe them like 20, 30 grand and like maybe just lose a finger or two. Like a whole organ. Like, I don't know, man. You're gonna have all the medical expenses after you got to call up 911 after being in the bathtub full of ice. These are the things that nobody ever talks about. But like, I'm looking at it like, I don't know if college is a very good idea. It kind of seems to me that like the only reason you need college is because they're the same people that decide that you got to have a certificate that says I'm a professional at whatever you're doing. Which back in the day, it was way different. Back in the day, whoever was there in that town, Dr. Quinn to take your spot, sir. Like that's who would get the job usually, as long as everybody approved. But you didn't go through no school. You had like an internship and everything, and an apprenticeship, which I agree on, and I think that that's great. You definitely need some overlap of that one person being there saying this is your new person. I mean that way you don't get like no emotional abusers and like freaking narcissists up there trying to like tell you, well, the doctor would have done it this way. Like you don't get any of that because like all that's out the window. When you do a long enough internship, it's going to be clear what the other doctor said, and everybody's going to know it that's in the room. So they don't have that room to emotionally abuse you anymore, like they did back in the day. That's all they had. But now it's like, hey, you didn't get an updated certificate. How many organs do you have left? Oh, I see, all of them. Well, isn't that grand? Well, how do you do it? I must know your secret. I mean, like really, like almost 70%. It was like 64% or something. We donated an organ to get out of financial aid debt from their student loans, and it is one of the only debts that'll go after your kids. They'll go take your kids' house for that shit. But a lot of people don't realize that if you don't make the requirements of signing off or getting whatever, shit written off, like you're fucked, man. They'll go after you and they'll lean on your house and all kinds of stuff, and on your kids' house and grandkids, and it just never stops. You know why? Because it's like a demon that's on your bloodline. It's the same freaking thing, except for it's in material form, 3D form. Right there, you can see it. You got to pay that money to show that you know something about something that you probably don't know nothing about. You probably do know something about like a whole bunch of other shit, but you can't make money that way. Oh, how are you gonna make money like that? Playing a guitar, or like whatever you're doing, riding your motorcycle. Riding motorcycles doesn't pay no mortgage. Like you're right, it doesn't pay no mortgage because I'm debt free, lady. I'm just saying. So like anyway, yeah, whoever sent women with credit cards to Walmart's, and all of it was brand new. So I was like, ooh, Walmart, ooh, look at all the options. Ooh, look at how much I could save. Look at buy one, get one. Like, I don't know. Like, that was a stupid ass idea anyway. So if your old lady's got a motorcycle and she's got the credit card and the whatever, like, she'll be really picking and choosing what she's buying at the store as opposed to just being able to pile it all in. Like, if you can't fit all that shit in an SUV, then, like, whatever. Even the seats move out of the way and they fold up and they open up on both sides for the convenience of being able to shove them full of all this crap we're buying from the store. If they're on a motorcycle, though, depending on how many bungees they have, they're limited. You know, one thing of laundry soap's could be plenty. If they even get that, they probably like them little like bags of pods that you get without all the litter, because that's like a whole month's worth of laundry in your saddlebag, you know? So that's just one thought of why you should get your old lady a motorcycle. Especially if she's bugging you, I might do it. I don't know. Some of them are just doing it to be cool, though. And it's easy to figure that out, though. It depends. Like, are they riding it? Will they ride it? You could find out in the first week. If they're not there to ride it 16 hours out of the day of the first week, even if they're only really riding it like an hour out of each of that, like morning, day, and night segment, even if they're just getting on it and going 15 minutes at a time, to them, they're like amping up the whole time, though. Like, oh, I'm going to ride my motorcycle. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get my boots on. There's like a process, so that's okay too. But anyway, and like, okay, so gone will be the days, if you get your old lady a motorcycle, that you have to worry about having your brother lean on your title. Because in divorce court, that bitch takes half of it. She wants you to sell your motorcycle, and she wants half the money. And the court will say, oh, da, 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 because it's considered a recreational vehicle. It's like a boat or something. Like, unless you go into court and prove, like, this is my only vehicle, this is how I get to work, then you're fucked. If you even have some broken down piece of shit janky car somewhere to the court, like that's a recreational vehicle. Like my motorcycle is not a recreational vehicle. That is my transportation. That is my right to travel right there. You know what I mean? There's a big thing. So if you do that though, if you get your old lady her own motorcycle, then like it takes the chances of her trying to get your bike in a divorce and making you sell it down to like nothing, because she ain't trying to get her bike taken away either. Because you'd be like, oh, them are my old motor, that's my old heads, that's my old jugs, that's my old tank, or whatever. I built it for her. I got man hours in it. You know what I mean? I want half her bike. Like she ain't gonna take that risk. She's just gonna walk away clean. Everybody's got their motorcycle at the end of the relationship. Boom. Reason number two. First reason, boom. You don't want to send her to the store with a fucking whole SUV to pile full of shit. One bungee and a motorcycle, boom. You're limited on your spending and your freaking whatever, supply gathering. Two, in the case of a divorce, you don't have to worry about her taking your bike. No brother's got to go lean on your bike to make it worth nothing, or you ain't got to go sell it technically to her brother for $1, to make sure that she only gets her 50 cents out of the deal. Gone are them days. If you just buy her $1,000 bike, and be done with it, like way ahead of time. It should be gone. That's the reason number three. Instead of an engagement ring, you could buy her an oil change. And as long as you're on your knee checking her oil on her motorcycle, she will not ever leave you. That's what you want ultimately. Like, oh, I gotta buy the cow to have the milk. Like, no, no, you don't. We all know that's bullshit. That's been bullshit for a very long time. You do not have to buy the cow to get the milk. As a matter of fact, you could manufacture the milk through a 3D printer, and like people still buy it like it's milk. So I mean, does it matter? It does. It does matter. But if you get down on one knee to give her an oil change and you're making sure her motorcycle's good, even if she has another person that has a mechanic to do it, you should still show that effort if you're her man, because you need to show her that you'll help her survive and like whatnot. So, but really though, you get out of the engagement ring, which is a bazillion dollars, and then you could just buy her $1,000 or $5,000 motorcycle, and it should be just as happy. And it's an engagement ring, nonetheless. Make it your own thing. Like they do that now, so you could do all that. It's not like it used to be back in the day. But it still applies to the old school way and rules and thinking. So let's see, what else do I got written down here? The reason why you'll never have to hear about you spending money on your engine upgrading. You need to upgrade your engine, like your bike's just fine, but like you want it to go faster. You'll never hear her bitching about you taking the finances out of her laundry soap habit or whatever. You'll never hear it because all you got to do is give her your old parts from your bike that runs perfectly fine. That's faster than hers, you see? And she'll never bitch about you getting engine upgrades or spending maybe money you probably shouldn't on your engine to get it like beefed up a little, especially if you're a racer, then it's never ending. Like, never mind that. This is definitely for you, though. Uh, you just give her your old shit. Oh, honey, well, I just want that. I mean, you might not be ready for it now, but soon you'll be ready for something faster, and I want you to have a good one, and that's a good one. Remember, we bought it for good money. Like, I want you to have it. I don't want anybody else to have it. You'll have the fastest bike on the block, whatnot, and so on. And you kind of, you do your little juda with it, which guys do anyway. I don't know how they come up with it. They got the brain cells of a freaking penis, but, good girls get pretty stupid too. They'll be all up in their air, you know. Bat in the eyes, you know. You ain't gonna get that on no motorcycle. Like when you're on a motorcycle, also, if you've got a lady that you hate listening to, you get her own motorcycle. She can't be talking in your ear, blah blah blah, all this crap that you don't want to hear because you're on a motorcycle to like get rid of the world for a reason. Like if you don't know how to be on a motorcycle and just be simpatico and like being free spirits together, then like oh forget about it. But not everybody's got an old lady like that, man. Not everybody does, and they're usually too fat for their back fender anyway. Let's be honest. If you can't fit on the back fender, then you might as well just go home. All the old ladies started off on a back fender with a t-shirt on it with oil splattered all over them, you know. And if not, then they're like a whole different breed. I'm not really speaking to them people, but it all applies still. Even more so, really. Because you can get a lot of shit on a Harley, but them crotch rockets, man, I don't even know that they even got saddlebags for them. Like, they just wear the backpack. So, I mean, that might even be more cost effective at the end of the day. Plus, you could put life insurance out, and bam, when they slip on a pebble, you'll be banking. You buy a better Harley. I mean, I'm just saying. Yep. So, what else we got here? Yeah, well, yeah, also, when you get arrested, your old lady will be able to go down to the impound shop and be able to ride your motorcycle home for you. If you get her own bike and she knows how to ride it, because she'll know how important that is. The first thing you got to do, like, fuck me, get my bike out. Huh. Which always has my guitar on it, too, so that's like a double right there. Yeah. I don't care if they ride a bike or, like, play guitar, but, like, it's going to really matter if they got to go get it out of impound and they don't have a truck and a trailer. So, like, I don't know. If I'm with somebody that doesn't ride a motorcycle or doesn't even know how, they better own a truck and trailer. It just would save a lot of problems later on because otherwise you're gonna have problems later on. That bike's gonna break down. It's gonna need a tire or something stupid. You're gonna be 20 miles from the house, and you're gonna have no money for a tow, and you're gonna get somebody, whoever you can think of or whoever stops, to give you a ride home, and they're like, oh, huh, well, maybe they could just put the tire on for you, huh? You know, and that's how it goes. So it avoids all that too. She rides a motorcycle, she could just go get it out of impound for you, or like ride whatever home. Also, you have an extra bike there that a girl could hop on, in theory, with another dude, and then you get on her bike. When your bike does break down, you gotta go get parts for it or something. You're not having to call your wife or a tow truck or look like a fag being on another dude's bike, you know, like trying to like ignore like you're on the back of it, like looking the other way or something. You could just get on her bike and you know she could hop on with one of their brothers because that's just the way it goes. Like it's not a big deal. Someone's broke down. It's a circumstance, you know, that you got to remedy. And that's the reasons that you should get your old lady a motorcycle. I think that they're pretty solid, pretty good reasons. And if you really think about it, like all of them reasons lead to a detrimental situation with most guys. So, you know, it's like if you're looking at it like, oh, I don't like that idea at all, and you're thinking of all the reasons why all the other guys are liking it, take it from a girl's perspective and know that them are at least 5-year-old lady a motorcycle if she wants it. And the last one is the best. You buy your old lady a motorcycle and she'll get on it and she'll fucking leave for good, man. Cause she like fuck that. She gave me a motorcycle to leave on. Like I'm out of here. Cause you're impossible, man. And so until next time, the angel of authenticity, going through my box of paperwork here and going through memory lane and all these lost ideas and little gemstones that I find. I found that piece of paper about the reasons why old ladies should have motorcycles, and I thought I would share it. So, get real. Until next time.